There's a ton of news to get to this evening, but I want to start by going back to the year 2019 on the small island nation of Samoa. That year, 1 year before the global pandemic, Samoa was experiencing its own pandemic.
This is the biggest increase in deaths we've seen since records began. The figure of 32 dead is up from 25 only yesterday.
These hospitals aren't designed to deal with this, and I think the minute you're getting hospitals running at 200% and 300% capacity, I think that speaks for itself. It's incredibly serious.
The outbreak that doctor was talking about there was measles, a disease for which vaccines have been available for more than 60 years. But in 2019, an entirely preventable outbreak on Samoa killed 83 people, most of them children under the age of 4. Why? Why was a preventable disease spreading like wildfire and killing so many children? Well, 1 year prior to that outbreak, 2 infants in Samoa died after nurses accidentally mixed their vaccine doses with another drug. It was a horrible tragedy, and it was one the American anti-vaccination movement sought to exploit. The anti-vaccine group Children's Health Defense jumped on the incident to stoke skepticism about vaccines in Samoa. And during that time, measles vaccination rates for infants in Samoa went from 92% in 2013 to just 40% by 2018. The man in charge of that anti-vaccination campaign, the leader of Children's Health Defense, was Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He personally traveled to Samoa as an honored guest of the Prime Minister. Kennedy told the local papers that the Samoan Prime Minister shared Kennedy's concerns about vaccines. And right around that same time, the Prime Minister halted the country's infant measles vaccine program. All of that created the conditions for Samoa's deadliest measles outbreak in generations, which resulted in the deaths of dozens of the island's children. And the man who ran that deadly anti-vaccination campaign has just been named by Donald Trump to be the next Secretary of Health and Human Services, where he will oversee everything from vaccine and drug approvals to children's health to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Trump has already promised to give RFK Jr. a broad mandate when it comes to America's health.
Robert F. Kennedy cares more about human beings and health and the environment than anybody. I'm going to let him go wild on health. I'm going to let him go wild on the food. I'm going to let him go wild on medicines.
By now, you've